YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. Today, running through a fantasy football mock draft with you guys. Actually going to do this live here as I'm recording. We're going to do a few of these. Early, one picking early, one picking middle of the draft. Late, obviously, snake draft, of course. And we'll kind of see what my thinking is on these drafts, how I would draft. And it's a good learning experience for myself and hopefully anyone watching. So really enjoy doing these. Few fantasy videos recently went up on the channel. Got all kinds of previews, predictions, rankings for the NFL season. We'll have you covered in season as well. Follow our Twitter. I'll tweet out my rankings for fantasy there, as well as there being a Q&A for Stardom Situm every single week. So it's a good reason to follow our Twitter as well as the NFL content, live talking during games, of course. So check it out. Here it is at Goathouse NFL. Link down below. And again, much appreciated if you can help us reach that 10K goal. Let's pull this up a little bigger. There we go. FantasyPros.com. Very cool website. I always use this site for these simulator / mock drafts. Really helpful. And you can change everything here. I'm doing PPR. Again, we'll do a few different of these just because you don't know if you're going to be picking third, middle of the draft, first. It could be anything. But, if you're picking first, I already talked about in another video, I'm picking Alvin Kamara first. So I'm kind of in a waste to do with the first pick here. I'm going to do third and see what happens here. This is roster positions I end up doing. This is kind of what I play. I think most people play this. I know there's a lot of 3 receiver leagues out there these days. Doesn't really matter what you do. This is the way I'm going to do it here. But then we can go down here and click Start Your Draft. Very cool. Very cool stuff here. Definitely helps. No, we don't need the tour. So third pick, if you guys could see on the right side, you can see it. McCaffrey went first. Dalvin Cook went second. So that I said I would take Alvin Kamara first. I'm sticking to that. Don't like to change my opinion on anything, especially this close to draft time. I'm kind of stuck on that. Big Dalvin Cook fan. There is some injury concern there, but it doesn't seem as major as where it was. McCaffrey got beat up last year. Doesn't have major injury concern, but it kind of sticks with you a little bit. Can that repeat itself? I like Kamara. I mean, receiving back, he's going to play a lot more receiver. They want to get him more carries at the same time, so that's to me, just don't overthink things. I'm going to take Alvin Kamara if I have the first pick. I got third pick, got him. So what is this? The 10th pick in the second round now, of course, snake order. We can pull up a different, what does draft board look like? Oh, that's pretty cool as well. You can pull up the cheat sheet. I can pull up my roster here on the left side. It's a little cut off. We got Alvin Kamara with a bye week of 6. This is where things gets interesting. So you see, this isn't my board. This is the Fantasy Pros board, but it's definitely useful. Yeah, there's some really good options here. I mean, I always like looking what's available, like if it's kind of close. I mean, we got Justin Jefferson here. I'm a big CD Lamb guy for this year. I really want CD Lamb. He's down there a little bit. But yeah, there's those guys that we probably can get for a receiver if we wait. Where's the running backs? I saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still there. I like that a lot too. There's some Josh Jacobs is there. There's some good running backs still as well. Do I want to pull the trigger on a big-time tight end like Darren Waller here? Could wait for Kyle Pitts as well. Ooh, this is tough. See, I would have been out of time already. That's why we got to practice. That's why we got to do these mock drafts. I was thinking Darren Waller. I think I'm gonna go. I kind of have a plan in mind. I'm gonna target Justin Jefferson here. And that's why these mocks are good to see how things unfold because I kind of have a plan. I plan out the rest of the rounds in my head. Got a couple different options here. So where are we at? Am I picking again? I am picking again. And I was thinking about Waller. He went, obviously expected that. I have to have CeeDee Lamb. Now, according to these rankings, it's not even that early according to these rankings. He's just a little bit down here. It's a must-have guy for me. I think I took Justin Jefferson before. I think CeeDee Lamb could have a bigger year. I just took him because Justin Jefferson wasn't going to be there. I know that. I know how people will pick CeeDee Lamb. I had a feeling that he would be there still. He was about to do some crazy things, maybe some Justin Jefferson type things if Dak Prescott stayed healthy. I mean, he still was pretty darn good. Cowboys are going to pass the ball a ton, especially if Dak Prescott's in there. And CeeDee Lamb, I think, will be their number one receiver this year. I mean, he can dominate the slot, outside, red zone. You see what he can do. in every aspect of the position of the game. So it's just a guy I have to have. It's worked out for me in the past, guys that I got feelings about, but I have to have him. So Kamara, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, it looks like pretty good points, especially from receptions. These are guys that just get open, get their hands on the ball, and then you factor in Kamara's carries as well. This next choice might be tough. Man, I really want Kyle Pitts. He's still sitting there. Can we wait another round? We saw... Where's the running backs? Yeah, running backs starting to come off the board. You can see more here. Josh Jacobs, Darrell Henderson. I like Kareem Hunt. There's some sleepers I have in there as well. Quarterback, I start to think about around now. We're on the 4th round. I'm one of the people that start to think about quarterback now. There's a lot of people that just wait for a quarterback. I'm not really against it, depending on who's there. I'm just really not with the logic that it's not that important of a position, so you wait. It's the position that the person that gets the most points for you every week should be your quarterback. So let's make it that way. Let's not take yourself out of that, So that's why I am strongly considering a quarterback here, but I do like the other options available for me. Man, I'm surprised Josh Jacobs is honestly sitting here. I'm a big Darrell Henderson guy here too, but surprised Josh Jacobs is here. I'm going to take him, and then we'll see what's on the board for us next. And we're on the clock again here. Could even grab Darrell Henderson. We still got Lamar Jackson. So I'm really liking the way this draft's unfolding here. It's almost like a dream scenario to me. I really got to have Kyle Pitts. Another guy I just have to have. I'm weird with the tight ends too. Like it's Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, and Kittle is in that conversation in terms of talent, but I had him last year. It scares me a little bit with the injury concern. But why those guys were in a conversation of their own, because everyone else is hit or miss for, you guys know, for in terms of every week by week for fantasy points. They're just so hit or miss. But I think Pitts will be up there with those guys. He's going to play everything. He's going to play X receiver. He's going to play inline and slot tight end, move tight end. He's going to play it all. So Julio out, Pitts is going to get that action. So I'm going to take Pitts. If you miss on Kelce, Waller, Kittle, I do like Hawkinson. I do like Andrews. I like to wait at that point. If you end up missing on those top tier guys, it's almost, you rather take some other positions and wait. I like the way I'm looking right now. I love the way this is unfolding. I'm going to take Russell Wilson, easy choice. Russell Wilson, Seahawks, they're going to look like the last year Seahawks. They're going to pass the ball more often, go away from running the ball a little bit too much, being too conservative. That's the game plan for them. So Russell Wilson, the amount of points he put up last year, especially when they were running their offense like that, it's a good sign. I would take Russell Wilson over a couple guys that went ahead of him here in the simulator. I would have taken him around earlier because, like I said, I value the quarterback because the quarterback should be getting you your most points. Don't make it so you're not in a good situation. Doesn't mean take a quarterback in the 3rd round. Doesn't mean that. It's just there's some people that just wait way too long and take a quarterback. If you miss, you miss. Sometimes it's like, these guys went a little earlier than expected. Don't force one. That's kind of how I just explained for the tight ends. So let's see if can you guys see my roster there? Yeah, you guys could see it. There we go. I really like the way my team's looking. Chances are it's not going to – well, first I got to get the 3rd pick, and Kamara has to be there. And, so chances are it's not actually going to look like this, unfortunately. But I absolutely love the way that is looking. Another thing, I pick defense and kickers last because I end up playing them by week anyways. I pick defense very last. It's my rule of mine. You don't have to play it that way. That's just the way I play it, and that's how I'll always do it. So now we're looking at back to the cheat sheet, a little better here. Flex, if we want to, it could be a tight end. Obviously, it could be a running back. There's some good tight ends, but that's not the route I'm going to go. Yeah, I like Chase Edmonds a lot, but Damien Harris is also sitting there. Some pretty good value. There's some really good sleepers down there. Look at the receivers. I'm surprised some of these guys. Big fan of Cortland Sutton's game, but injured last year. I think he could stay healthy. It's just I'm a big Tyler. You guys know that too. I'm a big Tyler Boyd fan. I think the connection between him and Burrow is very solid. So this look at Corey Davis, and the Jets are going to throw the ball a ton. Robbie Anderson was pretty reliable last year. There's some good players left here. I think there's a pretty big gap, honestly, especially how safe I feel between Edmonds and the rest of the running back. I like a lot of those other running backs, but it's like Edmonds has got to be that guy. He's got to be that guy compared to some of these guys have that question mark. Damien Harris is almost in the same boat as Chase Edmonds, so I like either of those picks there. It's tough passing on. There was some pretty good receivers left. I was really thinking about Tyler Boyd. If I did this again, maybe I would. It's that close. Maybe I would take Tyler Boyd there, but take Edmonds. Really liking my everything right now. Actually, this is kind of a dream draft in my opinion. It's not going to be for everyone, but this is kind of a dream draft. See, this is the beauty of the draft here. So next, I look at in my head, my board. I really like Damien Harris, and I just was deciding between Boyd, Harris, and Chase Edmonds, who I took. So I could have had the receiver and a running back. So you see, if you would go back, would you do it differently? But I mean, having another running back here, I think I got Curtis Samuel's a good option. I'm just looking at the receivers, but I kind of know where I'm going to go already. There was a pretty big drop off with the receivers, pretty big drop off. So maybe it could have been smarter to go Boyd and miss out on Edmonds and just go Damien Harris now, because I'm going to end up going Damien Harris anyways. I think this is really good value where I got Edmonds and Harris. I mean, these are the guys on their teams. Kamara, Jacobs, Edmonds, and Harris. I mean, at some point they allow us to put Kamara at receiver though, because I think he's gonna be playing a lot of it. But again, I do highly doubt that. My point is, I think he's gonna be playing a lot of receiver. So next up, we got there's some pretty good quarterbacks. Too early to take a guy who's you plan on being your backup for every week, but one almost. But there are some pretty good guys left, but I'm not going to take one of those yet. Not in love with the receivers, honestly, for this part of the draft. They're good receivers. Can I trust them? I do like some of these guys are sleepers. I do like them. It doesn't feel right at this round. I really like Elijah Moore down here. Jacoby Myers is pretty far down there. Yeah, I don't really agree with their board. You kind of got to scroll down a little bit. But some of these tight ends that are available are pretty damn good as well. You can't go wrong with, I think Fant's going to be pretty damn productive. Goddard should get more action. Ertz still sticking around, though. That kind of makes things tough. Tunyon was a touchdown machine, but there was some times where he's disappearing. Does feel like there's a more crowded receiver room for Green Bay as well. I do think, and then you got Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, which they got to split, but I think they got a plan for them. There's definitely a plan for Jonnu Smith, so I like him. I do like him. I wasn't really expecting to go tight end again here, but Noah Fant to me just seems like by far the best value in my opinion for what's sitting here. Nothing else really stands out. Kind of hit that part of the draft where I'm not in love with what's on the board with this pick. But we're gonna take Fant. I do like Fant a lot, so don't get me wrong there. But it's not like other picks. Like, wow, I can't believe I got those guys. So we took Fant. We are trying to find another receiver here. Lost my spot. I do like Mooney. I'm kind of back and forth. I really like Mooney. I think he'll progress, but I'm kind of back and forth because I think the Bears are going to run the ball an insane amount. So I do worry about that. I'm starting to think that more and more. They're just going to keep pounding the ball, get the ball underneath their running back. So it does worry me. I'm hearing really good things. We got two Patriots receivers here. I was going to say I'm hearing really good things about Nelson Aguilar in camp. It seems like he really improved his game last year. But Jacoby Myers, who was their receiver one last year, that's a tough call right there between those two. And between Jamison Crowder and Elijah Moore. Really like Elijah Moore. This is a tough call. Man, this is something I could change my mind on at any time. In the spot, I'd probably have to go with Jacoby Myers. I had him on my team last year as well. It's just a pretty consistent player. I think he can work well if Mac Jones does end up coming in. We knew that was kind of the only receiver that worked well with Cam Newton. If Mac Jones keeps coming, gets in, he's going to get that receiver that kind of just gets open on any route. the quickest, and I think Myers kind of fits that. So I do like adding him there. What do we got next? Just kind of looking at best available. If there's a quarterback that really stands out, and Matt Ryan's still sitting there. Joe Burrow could be. They're gonna pass the ball a lot. Do you take a second quarterback that high though? Hines had a pretty good year last year. Wouldn't take him here though. Tough to know exactly what's going to go down that Texans backfield. I'm not in love with the running backs. Again, there's good ones. They're solid players. Looking at the receivers, I think I'm going to go double down here on the receiver. I just really want to have Elijah Moore on my team, so I'm going to grab him. Another Jet I was really liking was Michael Carter. I was curious to when he went off the board. He's right here, 35th. Yeah, so that's another guy I would like to have. I think they're going to use him a ton. Then we're looking at 2 bench spots and then a defense and a kicker. Let's see. I might just grab. I mean, it's tough between Joey Burrow and Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan always produces quite a bit. Could be running the ball a little more there in Atlanta. Trevor Lawrence. I think they're going to air the ball out there too. I worry about Jacksonville's defense, which is kind of a good thing for Trevor Lawrence. A lot of garbage time, which I don't really like that term. But you get just to explain it the best. I think he's going to rack up a good amount of production late to kind of stay in games, stay in shootouts. That's the way I would like to put it. So I do think Lawrence could be solid. I'm gonna go Burrow though. He's got his guy Jamar Chase, second year, hopefully healthy. That's the only concern here. But they're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot of spread looks. They're gonna pass the ball a ton. So I do like Joe Burrow. And then when we see we can go with next, I'm surprised with the tight ends. I would never think I would have 3 tight ends, but that might be the case here. That actually might be the case. I got running back in my flex, so 1 extra bench running back, but I do have one on the bench there. And Nelson Aguilar still there. Do I want both the Patriots receivers? Wouldn't be against doing that. Hearing good things about Sammy Watkins. You see him down a little bit. I'm hearing some good things there. I'm just surprised Jonnu Smith is still there. So I was actually considering that. Just 3 tight ends, could be used as trade bait there potentially. I'm not a big trade guy. It seems like I'm not against trading. I'm always hesitant because I feel like I consistently have pretty good teams, and I'm afraid to make a trade when my team is playing pretty well, like to change too much. If I'm struggling, that's where I make the trade. So that would, because I would most likely be starting Pitts, and if I was going to start another tight end, it'd be Fant. So to me, the best value here is Nelson Aguilar. Again, Sammy Watkins, hearing good things. Just double checking those running backs. I'd actually double down on the Patriots receivers. One possibly could be trade bait. Feel a little more comfortable because I think one of those is about to be a very good, better than expected between Myers and Aguilar fantasy player. I think they're going to produce. So having both of them, definitely interesting. And then we have kicker. Where's the kickers at on this list? Did I pass him? Must have passed him. Yep, right in my face. Harrison Butker and Younghoe Koo. It seems like I've had Koo the last 2 years. He's been pretty damn good. I just roll with that. I just don't like changing what I had if I have the opportunity. He's been good, so could go Butker though. And then next pick, defense. You're looking for maybe not necessarily the best defense, but you're looking for playmaking defense here. And Patriots kind of scream that. I do the Browns adding to their secondary, and then they'll create turnovers. The Chargers under Brandon Staley, I think they'll add to that. I think the Packers are a team that in that secondary can get their hands on the ball quite a bit. The Savage guy that can potentially lead the league in interceptions. So I like some of these playmaking defense. I think I'd have to go with the Patriots though. They're a little very underwhelming actually last year, but a bunch of opt-out guys back, and they add some guys as well. I think I'd go Patriots defense. I seem to play defense by week, so there's probably a scenario depending on who's on the board. If a team not, and they gave me a C-, so not everyone's going to agree with what I'm doing. I'm confident. I trust myself. So I don't really care about the C-. But back to the defense, there's a scenario where there's no standout Patriots. Not that they're a mega standout. I'd look at who the teams are playing week 1, and I would go with who I think is by far the best matchup, and that's how I'd play. Because I find myself playing defense by week as it is. That's just how it goes. So that's why I save defense for last. If you're in that situation where there's no standout team, look for who they play. If there's like an obvious, they're playing this bad offense week 1, they're definitely going to get a turnover on this quarterback week 1, at least one, then you'll probably go with that. That's just how I've done it. It sounds kind of weird, but that's how I always done it. That's how I'll continue to do it. So that is, my team is right here. So we got Kamara, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. They didn't like the Kyle Pitts pick. I think a lot of the people that just doubt tight ends early in their career, because that's common theme for tight ends, I think they will also dislike the pick, but there's never been a Kyle Pitts. And I mean that by talent at tight end position, but in terms of the versatility as well. Like, he is going to play aka a Julio Jones receiver spot position a lot. He's going to get the production. They don't have the best depth. They got studs in Pitts and Ridley. They don't have the best rotation. I do like Russell Gage too, so don't get me wrong there. I really liked where I got Russell Wilson. I would not have been against taking Russell Wilson. If you take Russell Wilson in the 4th round, I think that's a solid pick. Maybe a little early for some people to take quarterback, but so I really like that pick. Chase Edmonds, I had him on my team last year. He got going late in the year. They were getting the ball in the red zone more, especially through the air, and he was kind of getting outside, getting towards that end zone. So I liked him. Damien Harris has got to be the guy. I keep hearing good things. He's got to be the guy. I had him on one of my teams last year too. He did get hurt towards the end of the year. That hurt me a little bit, but he's a good young running back. They were just definitely playing things safe with him. So I think that's a pretty good value pick. Noah Fant, yeah, they weren't a fan of my tight end pick, or is it red because of the position? I think it's red because of the position. I thought those were grades. Yeah, it's definitely the color. Somebody probably figured that out a lot, way longer before me, so I'm an idiot. So that's good. I thought they just didn't like I thought it was red because they didn't like the picks. Jacoby Myers. Yeah, that's kind of a thing that, having Myers and Aguilar is kind of weird to me, but I had to go with value. I wasn't going to just go, okay, Aguilar is, definitely better than this guy, but I'll take this guy because I have Jacoby Myers. It's not something I would ever do. So yeah, I've been hearing great things about Aguilar. He was really good last year. He actually improved his game. I don't think it was a result from changing who he's playing with. I think that helped, but I think he actually improved his game. So I think he can be solid. Myers, I think, is a really good fit no matter who's at quarterback, so I do like him. Burrow, again, they're going to pass the ball a ton. A lot of spread looks. You could go Matt Ryan there. I think most people probably would go Matt Ryan there. Definitely safer. And against Trevor Lawrence, I think the Jags are going to be in some shootouts, or they're going to be trying to play keep up a bit, just a prediction. So I think Lawrence will be passing, and we know he can throw. He can pass. So I do like Trevor Lawrence as well. So that is my team. If I'm picking third, again, Kamara, I would take first overall. Maybe that's just me. This simulator had him as the third best player. So I got him third, so I'm thrilled with that. I tend to stay away from the injury-prone guys. The guys in the back of my mind, if I'm about to select a guy, is this guy going to get hurt? I will not take him. Some people take him. I guess maybe I did that with Barkley. I ended up taking Barkley in 2 of my leagues last year. I regretted that, but I just really thought he was going to stay healthy last year, so I might be just out on Barkley just because my past experiences. So I'm just trying to give you guys my thinking as much, or any tips if you need it. But all these videos doesn't mean I think you absolutely should do exactly what I do. I think if you have your thoughts, you like this guy, you don't like this guy, and I kind of add on to those thoughts, like confirm it for you, I think that's wonderful. Like if 2 people have the same thought on something, that's like, okay, I feel very comfortable taking this guy here. I think that's what these videos are for mainly. So again, we'll do some more of these. Yeah, I definitely want to do another one picking in the middle of the draft, late in the draft, and see how those unfold. We have a Goat House Fantasy League we do every year. More info on that coming soon. Follow your Twitter for instant info, news, things like that, updates. Twitter link is down below. And subscribe, full NFL coverage here. Can't wait for our weekly picks, power ranking, score predictions, a lot more. We got you covered, so join us. It's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.